It's a Thursday night here in Wisconsin, Thursday evening. It's not quite night yet because we still have some light in the hoop shed. We're in the hoop shed tonight, the hoop shed that we just built about 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. We got the 7.3 liter diesel 2001 F250, and we're going to see if it'll start here tonight. I tried to start it a few days ago and it would not start. Dead batteries, just click, 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 click. Not good. So, thanks for joining. Let's go over a little bit about this truck before we start it here, or at least attempt to start it. This is a 2001 Ford F250. It's got the big diesel in it, the 7.3. Yeah, it's a pretty cool sounding truck once it's running. Right now, it's not running. Let's hope we hear it running tonight. This truck needs a lot of work. It's got a lot of rust, and it's got some other issues that need work, like the air conditioner compressor. The pulley on it's bad. Let's go take a look at that. So as you can see right here, we got a dirty engine bay because this thing right here, that pulley is all wobbly. And if we get it started, we'll probably hear that thing going scrape, 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 and see it wiggling a little. Yeah. I better do that repair soon. I have a new air conditioner compressor. I just haven't done the work yet. There's always something to do. All right, Tanner, thanks for joining. We got a crowd on here tonight. Other than being dirty, because the air conditioner compressor, it usually runs just fine. This is a nice engine. We've had to do some repairs on it over the years. Oil cooler, it had a massive leak. That was a horrible job. Did that when it was super cold out, like December or something, January, something dumb. Hey John, thanks for joining. We're gonna see if we can get this diesel to start here tonight. Last time I tried, it did not start. It went click. So we put on this teeny tiny smart charger. Hi guys, thanks for looking. We're gonna see if this will start here. It's a 2001 F250 with a flatbed and a crooked running board. Yeah. Last time we tried, it didn't run. It didn't start. Batteries are dead. All right. And this truck, the big diesel engine, it actually takes two batteries. So we got the one battery on this side here. Whoops. I just pushed the button on there with my arm. It'll work. It'll give you a little extra charge. So we got one battery here, and then we come over here, and we got a second battery over here. So I've actually only charged one of the batteries so far. It should be enough to start it, I hope. If not, then we'll find out. This thing's got a lot of rust, as you can see right there. Let's get you off the tripod so I can show you a little closer about this truck here. Just a little bit shakier when I do that. There we go. So look at this. Did you know 2001 F250s are bedazzled? They got the jewels. Actually, that's a unique one. Only mine has the bedazzled jewels. My daughter put on there thinking she was sneaky, but I saw her. I saw her like leaning against the truck and looking over like I'm looking over and doing this, putting the bedazzled jewels on the F250 mark. That running board, how many of you want a running board like that? It gives you the extra running jump when you're trying to get in. Or when you get out in a parking lot, kaboing, like a diving board. And then this one's got the extra special cracked window. Probably be able to see that a little better when we look from inside. It's got a light on top, a beacon. That one flashes pretty nice when it's the middle of winter, except when you need it to. Because usually we use this for snow plowing, and that means it just got done snowing a lot, which means the roof is also covered with snow, and then you can't see the beacon. So like the only time we actually want to use the beacon, you can't see it because it's covered with snow. Yeah, I know. Scrape the snow off. And I do, but you don't get it all off, and then you only partially see the beacon. All right, this part's cool back here. It's got a flatbed. Nice, heavy-duty steel flatbed. That thing's awesome. And it's got a diesel transfer pump. That's some heavy-duty flatbed. This transfer pump. It's got, I don't know, probably about 100-gallon fuel tank here. Think there's any diesel left in it? Oh, smell that. Does that smell good? That smells like diesel. Diesel smells good. Tell me if you see any diesel in there. Probably didn't see any, did you? It went empty. I used it all. There's a tiny bit, probably right at the bottom. There we go. I got to go get more pink diesel. I can put pink diesel in there for the tractors. I don't run pink diesel in the truck, though. That'd be a bad thing. We got the sticky, gooey green handle here. It works good. Yeah, it's really convenient to have a fuel pump right at home. Except it's empty because we used it all. And right now the truck won't start. We're hoping it'll start tonight. And it's got a bad air conditioner pulley, compressor pulley. And one of the tires is bald. Check it out. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. Yeah, this was the tire here. That's not bad at all. Look at that. That's great. Well, that's a little bit bald there. Got about 2 millimeters. The tire blew out when we were pulling a load of pellets for the pellet stove and a pallet of cement blocks. So we were pulling the big tandem axle trailer with 2 tons of weight on it, and the brakes went out. Yes, that was the first thing that went wrong that day. Right outside of the store where we got them, 30 minutes away, the brakes on the truck went out. On this truck, first stoplight we went to, stepped on the brakes and it didn't stop. And thankfully we were able to get it to stop before we went into the intersection. And here we are, half an hour from home. And so, okay, we're doing okay. So we have trailer brakes. So we use the trailer brakes. It's a trailer brake controller down by your knees inside. Actually, I'll show you. Why am I talking about that? I'll show you. Here we are. There's the inside with our awesome running board. Right here. There's the trailer brake controller. You push the button and it will actually lock up the brakes, or engage, not lock them up, engage the brakes on the trailer. And being a big 14K rated trailer, it had decent brakes, so I was able to stop the entire truck and trailer system when we needed to. But still, it's not something you want to do. You don't want to have to drive a half an hour with blown truck brakes and just using the trailer brakes. That was sketchy. And so then finally, we make it, like we're 2 miles from home, and we just pull out on a highway. Not it was a county highway, nothing big, and kaboom, and boom, 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 boom. That tire blew. So we pulled onto a side road and looked, and sure enough, there we are. Tire blew. We had spare tires on the back, but we didn't have a jack. That doesn't help. And the only jack we had at that time was a little 3K jack, like a really little one. I don't think it would have lifted up the truck to change the tire. So since we were 2 miles from home, we just drove the rest of the way home with no brakes and a flat tire going boop, 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 the whole way home. It was a gravel road, so it was just a long, slow drive. That was the last time we had this thing on the road, I think. No. After we repaired the brakes, we had a blown brake line. They rusted through. We repaired the brake line, put a new brake line in. We put this baldish tire on. We did have to use this one time since then to go pick up a car. That was in an accident. And we were able to put a winch on the back. We welded this on here. This is really cool. Really handy. We welded a receiver hitch on there. There we go. And that allows us to just lift up the, hey, there's the winch right there. Take that winch and slide it in there. And then it's able to feed out across the tandem axle trailer and pull cars up. After that, we haven't driven this on the road because that's when the air conditioner compressor pulley started going wonky, and it started making some awfully sketchy sounds. And if that pulley fails completely while it's driving, it's going to shred the serpentine belt. So we don't want that to happen. All right, so what we have here is some more stickers that my daughter put on. Some more stickers. Stickers over there. Yeah, we got a bunch of boards. We were staining these boards the other day. Not staining them, sealing them. We're sealing these boards. These are going to go in our living room, so we're using the flatbed as storage right now. Here's where we fill up the fuel tank. Right here. So we've got to lift this flap. There it is. That's where we fill up the diesel on this thing. Come on. All right. And then that feeds down through there, down to the fuel tank. Oh, we got a strap. Why do we have a strap on our fuel tank? Well, when we first got it, it had only 2 ratchet straps on it, and that was too sketchy. We did eventually buy proper fuel tank straps and put them on, but maybe we just bought one. I don't remember. But yeah, we left that ratchet strap on there just as a precaution, because obviously if the fuel tank straps can rust off once, they could do it again. Previous owners, it must have fell off while they're driving it. That had to be a bad day. Probably as bad as when I lost the brakes and blew a tire in one day. Imagine driving down the road and what's that sound? You look in the mirror. I see diesel. All right, so here's the engine. Yeah, we've swapped a few things in here over the years. That alternator, the oil cooler way down below. That one was horrible. The batteries, of course. And now they need to be swapped again, probably. There's 2 of them. And there's that air conditioner compressor pulley right there. And if you notice, this is all dirty here because it's like shredding and grinding itself. Dirty, dirty. This bumper, whoop, can stick our fingers through it. Bet you wish you had a cool bumper like that. Here we go. We got the air conditioning, the Wisconsin style air conditioning happen here. Over here you can see no running board on this side. That stuff looks extra yummy. I think it's cheese curds. We live in Wisconsin. Why not have cheese curds in your vehicle? What else we got? Nothing unique on this side other than, of course, we put these special hooks all over the place. There used to be a bar right here that used to go across the back to kind of enclose this area. But when we put that receiver, the hitch receiver there, that bar couldn't go there anymore. All right, it's got a nice heavy duty rear bumper like thing. That's some heavy steel there. Oh. All right. Check out how many leaf springs it has. Look at that. Look at how many leaf springs this thing has. At least 7. Might be another one hiding down there. Nope. 7 of them. 7 leaf springs. Yeah. The doors. There we go. It's got that super special early 2000s, late 90s rounded plastic. Sometimes the door doesn't stay shut. When we're using this daily, there's many times that we go to shut the door and it would just bounce back open. And then we're trying to use it to go to like town, to go to Taekwondo or something, and you have to fool with it because, hey, we gotta go into town. And every once in a while it was just you gotta fiddle with the lock mechanism or that, and then we always got it shut, but sometimes it was like, this is sketchy. And then when you're in there, because there's so much rust, I mean, look at that rust, you can hear outside, you can feel the wind coming through the door. I mean, look at that. I'm going to get you on the tripod so you can see, hey, where'd I put it? I lost the tripod. It's probably over here. There we go. So you can hear the wind through the doors. Just shaking you while I'm getting you on here. Then you'll be more stable. There we go. All right. So our door, let's check this side. So this door's shut. And watch this. Yeah, look at all that movement. All right. V6. This is a V8 diesel. Gleese, thanks for watching. So yeah, it's noisy, as we'll hear if we can start it. And you can smell like the fumes coming in the cab a little bit because of the lack of sealing there. Rust like crazy everywhere. But it's a fun truck. It's big and heavy duty. It does its job good when it runs. It's got a snowplow attachment to go up front. So we do use this for snow plowing. So I need to get this operational again so that this winter we can use it for snow plowing. Oh, let's check out the inside. So I got to take you off the tripod, gonna get a little wiggly. There we go. So it's like really high up. I mean, like, yeah, to get in, like you gotta step way up here and then like jump in. Ooh. Yeah, because that running board is broken. Yeah. Here we are inside. Bye. Yeah, all right. So here we are. We got this. If you can see it, we got a spider web of cracks in the windshield. We got these cool glasses. There we go. Now we got the cool glasses. Now we're cool. There, check that out. Somebody got hungry. I think the previous owner, he used to snowplow for a job, and he'd drive around at night because snowplows, they got to ride at night because when the parking lots are empty, they do the job. And I think he bought a bag of Cheetos. And he was sitting here one day eating his Cheetos, eating his Cheetos, eating his Cheetos. His Cheetos ran out, but he didn't know. And then he started eating his Cheetos. You think that's what happens? Yeah, me too. Cool. So here we got the snowplow adjustment controls. It's like, I can just imagine that guy sitting here eating his Cheetos, playing with the joystick. It's like video games almost. Snow plowing, Cheetos, joystick. With some kind of funny tasting Cheetos too. All right. It's got a back seat, sort of. There's that box. Ooh, that box has our air conditioner compressor in it. And there's our tow strap, an oil filter. You know, these 7.3 diesels, they take a lot of oil. I don't know what it is, like 5 gallons or something crazy. I don't remember. Check out that oil filter for them. Holds a lot of oil. Oh, oh, a Heme. A Heme. That's the special oil filter, a Heme filter. Oh, Yamaha. That ain't the right filter. That's for a Yamaha. This ain't a Yamaha engine. Okay, what else? This thing's got a shifter for two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, for high, for low. Down there, yeah. That's the good stuff. That's not the volume control style dial on the dash with the vacuum or air that changes your two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive. That's an actual mechanical one. You guys look like you're getting darker. It could just be my glasses. What else we got? We got a button, a switch. We got a cassette player, CD player. We got this. So it switches for the beacon on top. Cassette player. Some of you might know what that is. This here. How many of you like to see these turn red? When you were a kid, did you ever push it in and push it in again? And a third time, now you're getting daring because your parents in the front seat, they're going to start going, What's burning? What's burning back there? What you doing back there, Jimmy? And you're sitting there. It's red. It's glowing red. I like the redness. And then, how many of you dared to touch it? Oh, you did. I know you did. I bet you remember that day good. You probably still got the marks on your finger, don't you? All right. I say let's go ahead and connect these batteries. Tanner did. Let's connect these batteries and see if this thing will crank or if we're going to have sadness here. All right, I got to get out. I'm trapped. We got that and that in the way. Yeah, that's our air compressor, a gas-powered air compressor. The pull rope, the recoil, the rope on it broke. That's no good. So now we can't start it. We have to replace the rope. That's not that difficult, but I don't know, that broke like 3 months ago. It's a sad rope. Yeah, it all takes time. Ingersoll Rand, jumping jack, pounder, ground pounder. It works sometimes when it wants to. That thing's cool. We somewhat flattened out the floor in the hoop shed, the ground in the hoop shed here with that thing. That's why it's still sitting there. We built the hoop shed over it and we never bothered to move it. What else? We're going to connect these batteries, but I just saw this. I saw this sitting down on the ground and I wanted to show you. Kind of reminds you of like a tunnel borer. Something that bores tunnels. That's pretty cool. This is my favorite post hole digger. How many of you have ever used a post hole digger like this? This thing's really easy to use. You just put it down in the ground and you start spinning, obviously, with your hands up here. And none of that push down with two things and pry apart and try and hold it apart while you lift a little tiny bit of dirt out and dump. This thing, it like bores itself into the ground. You just down, turn, turn, turn. You lift it up and it's got a bunch of dirt down in there. Then you tap it to the side. That's about the hardest part, is tapping it to the side, because we've got clay, so it likes to stick in there. So you gotta go, and it gets heavy because it's full of clay. So you're like, get out, clay, get out. And sometimes you gotta push it out with a stick, not with your hand. Hi, all right. Oh yeah, cool. Wim, thanks for joining. We're gonna connect these batteries here. Let's see if this thing starts. We've been looking at the truck, fuel transfer tank, heavy duty steel flatbed. Awesome, super awesome running board. It's like a jumping, whatever they call those, jumping board in a pool. It's been years since I've been on one of those. I always hated those. I was scared of them when I was a kid. You ever go on the jumping board? Whatever they're called. Diving board. That's why it didn't sound right. Diving board. Jumping board. I couldn't figure out the name, and so it was like, I'm not understanding. There we go. So here we are up at the front of the truck. Here's our battery charger. We use this itty bitty battery charger on here on an extension cord. So did it work? We're about to find out. It says it's full. We just got done eating, so it's full. Disconnect it. unplug it. There we go. Now we need to connect the battery because I had them disconnected from the ground here because we have a battery drain, and the battery drain might be bad enough that it would be draining the battery just as fast as this little itty bitty thing was trying to charge the battery. So the negative disconnected. Now on this truck, it comes with two batteries. Here's the other battery on this side. Let's go ahead and connect that one. Negative was disconnected. So now the secret is I only charged the first battery. Yeah, I'm going to put the itty bitty charger on this battery at the end of the night here tonight. Let's go ahead and see if we can start it though with one charged battery. Okay, so because it's a diesel, we're going to need to let the glow plugs warm up. This thing starts hard and it needs a lot of glow plug. Just trying to think how best to do this so you can see me and hear the engine. Let's go ahead and put you back here. There we go. Now you can see me get in the cab, tripping on my air compressor. Now you can see how hard it is to get in the cab here. So, it's a British truck. It ain't British. The video is just mirrored. Okay, Matthew, if it's not cold, you shouldn't need the glow. Yeah. But I do because, and I think the only reason I do is because the batteries have always been horrible. And I think part of it is the connection on the second battery where the two positives hit together. When we first bought this thing, it was at an auction. So we got it from an auction, which is scary because buying a truck at an auction, and it was somewhat cheap, but it wasn't cheap. So you go there and it's a big truck. I didn't have anything that could tow this truck, and that's left-hand drive. And so I come out to start it and it wouldn't start. I don't even think it made any noise the first time. It was a great price. Yeah, I think it was $3,000. So, and it was actually in better shape then than it is now. It's been slowly rusting more and more. But so it would not start. And I'm like, I don't know anything about this truck. And here I am in like the back of this business that was having an auction, and yeah, truck won't start. So we went and bought jumper cables, which was horrible because we had to go to like an auto store, and it was like $45 for this little jumper cables. So we got the jumper cables, we came back and we hook up our little vehicle, whatever we had at the time, to the batteries, and just a little bit. So we were struggling, and then we're like, well, let's leave it connected for a while, maybe it'll charge them. And thankfully, somebody else at the auction who is buying something else, he sees us struggling and he comes over. He's like, hey, you guys having some problems there? I've had a whole bunch of these Power Stroke 7.3 diesels, so I know a lot about them. And he was looking and he's like, yeah, there's something funny with your secondary battery connection. So from the first battery, the positive heads across the cab, not the cab, the engine bay to the second one. And it ties into that, and then it heads up to the engine stuff, like the starter and all that. And so he did some wiggling, jiggling, and magic, and then it cranked over just fine. It probably would have cranked over if we did that without getting the super expensive jumper cables. But ever since then, I think that's always been a little bit of an issue. That cable from the battery to wherever it goes next is not a cheap cable. so I never bothered to replace it. And when we bought new batteries, we didn't buy the big proper cold cranking amp batteries. We bought the cheapest ones from Walmart. So not only did we put two kind of smallish batteries in, but our battery cable's kind of bad. And with these diesels, you need it to crank fast. And I think our problem is because our battery power's always a little bit iffy. It doesn't crank fast. So we need the glow plugs to pre-warm it to make up for the slow crank. So you'll hear the speed of our crank, and it's gonna not be as cranky happy as we'd like. Let's hope it cranks over enough to fire it here. All right, I see I got a battery gauge in there. It says 12.8. Once I turn those glow plugs on, it's gonna drop. Had to make sure the batteries were in here, or not the batteries, the keys. Okay, you can hear like something making noise up there, maybe a fuel pump. And right now the glow plugs are running. It's at 11.4. That sounds better than the other day. It was only at 10.5 when I was running the glow plugs. Okay, so I'm gonna hop on in. You can see how hard it is to hop in because you're out here now, because I can't step on the running board. It's getting too dark to wear these. And then I'm gonna see if we can start it. Here we go. This is the fun part. You gotta get one leg up on there and then pop. Just like that. You gotta jump in. All right, here comes the magic. Oh yeah, success today. All right, Dave. On the edge of your seat. I was on the edge of mine too. Okay. It's noisy. You can hear some of this noise up here. You can hear our air conditioner compressor pulley ready to grenade. Hi, Blake. Yeah. I gotta replace that soon. Let's hope it doesn't explode today. Yeah. Yeah, that pulley's bad. Yep, the diesel's supposed to be noisy. I love this noise. Let's get down here. That's the good noise. But you can hear that rattle, rattle, rattle. That's the pulley. $13.7, so it's charging properly. There's the plow attachments. Yeah, I'm happy it starts. It's been a while since we ran it. Unfortunately, I'm not pulling it out today because, for one, we got boards there. For two, let me go show you what's outside. It's like quiet out here, guys. All right, so there we are. We were inside that. Inside the hoop garage, the hoop shed, the hoop building. And as you see, I'm walking not too far from it here. And then all of a sudden, boom, right there, we got some big mystery thing under a tarp with, oh, an engine hoist. We got an engine under a tarp here on gravel, so we can't move it because the engine hoist isn't going to roll on gravel. So I've got this prepped. I'm going to bring the tractor over someday, and we're going to see if we can pick up the engine with the tractor and get it out of the way. Because right now, there's not enough room. We're kind of stuck in here. We got obstacles everywhere, so we can't go around. We can't go that way. We got a parts car there. We got a shed there. We got a gravely weird looking thing there. We got a bin. We got a pig, a running pig. And then we got the chicken coop with the hay shed. And there, that's the way it needs to go. Oh, let's show you this engine. So we got this engine in the way. Bell housing. It's aluminum, nice and light. That's awesome. There we go. It's a Ford FE engine. We're going to try putting it in that purple Starliner over there. So we want to get the truck out of the hoop shed so we can put that Starliner in the hoop shed so we can work on it and try and put this engine in the Starliner. 1960 Ford Starliner. So we got a little bit of work to do. Step number one is making sure the truck would start, because we can't get it out if it doesn't start. So thankfully it's still running, it still works. It's to shut it off and probably fill in this garage full of fumes. Here we go, hold your breath. Hey, it's quiet. Oh, I'm talking. That means I'm breathing. All right. That was good. Try and get out. We got to fix this air compressor. Guess what? Guess what my eyes are doing right now? They're kind of burning. Let's get out of this garage. That's a downside to a garage, a hoop shed. You run a vehicle in it. It doesn't have a lot of ventilation right now. There we go. All right. Fresh air. Both batteries are disconnected. I don't know what the pigs are doing over there. Both batteries are disconnected. I'm going to put the charger on that second battery. Let it run overnight. Do its little mini charger magic. So now we know the truck can start. There's the plow. There's the plow for it. It's almost October. I think I better hook up the plow. It doesn't need to be yet, but it's time of the year that I should get it hooked up. There's another engine. That's going to go in the green Starliner. Does the other red truck start? I don't know. It should. There's the Starliner that we're going to put the engine in. Not that one. Not that one. And there, that's the second engine. It's going to go in the green one. So this other red truck, let's at least look at it here. I don't think there's a battery out here though. This is a cool truck. Oh, I know. There's another red truck. Yeah. I thought we were talking about this one. Yeah, 72 F250 with the wrong back to it here. Yeah, the other red truck does start. It's just like this, except better. It's another 1970 F250. Oh, I left my selfie stick in the fumey garage. There we go. So, this one, we did a head gasket replacement. Most of the work was done by Tanner. You can see him commenting here. He does a lot of work on these while I'm at work for my day job. It's running. The clutch works. It should be able to drive, but no battery. No battery, so we're not going to try that one tonight. And because we can't back it up, there's a trailer in the way. I think what Tanner was talking about though was this cool one. This cool, oh boy, courtesy trams. I hear something about courtesy tram tours were taking place. That's probably all that noise you guys heard in the background. There we go. There it is. Let's get some lights on in here. It's kind of a crowded garage. No matter how big of a garage you get, it's never big enough. There we go. I need to get regular lights so I don't have to plug the lights in. They're kind of hokey right now. Just lights zip tied to the framing. But here we go. 1972 F250. Just last week, we got this running again. It had been non-running for a year. Oh, it got daylight again. There we are. That's a cool truck. Oh, I see a cat came in. You guys want me to see if we can start it? It should start. I started it once this year. Let me go get the selfie stick because it'll be a lot easier and better watching it start if I'm not holding it with my shaky hands. So there's the parts one. That's what this is really. It's a parts truck, but we're hoping to be able to get it running and driving so we can actually have fun with it while it's being its parts donor self. All right, back out here by the hoop shed. I'm going to get my selfie stick parts. Well, it's like a living donor. It holds the parts while it lives. And hopefully they're never needed. Where's my selfie stick? It's gone. You guys were over there last, watching me start it. I came over here, that's right. We're talking about the exhaust, yes. There it is, there it is. By the exhaust. That exhaust that we can all smell. Can you guys smell it? No, not like me. There we go. There, now you don't shake as much. I still have to carry you. Let's head on out. Let's go to the other garage. What What I don't like about these hoop sheds is the zipper door. And that's just the walk-in. I don't know how you're supposed to really open that thing up to drive a vehicle through without just like throwing the flap up in the air as you're driving forward and having the vehicle like push its way through. Here, cock-a-doodle don't. All right, head into the garage. There's the, we call that one the turd. Not the truck, but the camper. 1972 Starcraft camper. It's brown. Here we are. We're in the garage. All right. This is where the fun stuff is. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and connect the battery over there. Okay, we got our positive. Got our negative. Everything's looking good. So far, everything's looking good. Let's see if it'll start. All right, come over to the door here. Let's check out the interior. This thing, look at that. Remember the plow truck? When we pushed on the door, how the whole door went wee woo wee woo. This doesn't do that. Yeah. That's a nice sound. Okay. Hopping on in. You know what though? Hopping in is just as difficult, except you can't jump into this one because of how the steering wheel and the seat are. You gotta slide in. Otherwise, you'll hit your leg on the steering wheel. Okay, this is a manual transmission, so I'm going to push the clutch, make sure we're neutral. Gonna pump the gas pedal twice and cross our fingers. Looking good. The fuel's not spraying everywhere. Good. I don't see any fuel leaks. Let's go check out the back side here. There we go. Chris, yes, it's nice. Running good. Look at my shorts. They're getting blown by the exhaust. Running Maybe a little bit high idle. Not too bad though. Smelling a little bit rich too. Oh yeah, that's a totally different smell than the diesel. Running good. Let's change the pitch a little bit. So that's a Ford FE engine like the one that's sitting on the ground over there. That's what we're hoping to get in the Starliner. In a manual, no such thing as a high idle. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Good, no backfire. I was like, wait for it, wait for it. I don't know why it died. Maybe we ran out of gas. Hey, I hear somebody out there revving an engine on the road. Soon. We haven't had this thing on the road since last year. Actually, maybe 2 years ago. Last year we just pulled it out to wash it. Let me see if the fuel bowl is empty. Not the fuel bowl, but the fuel filter. It is. We ran out of fuel. Yes, that's good. That means there's no mystery problems. Right there. I hear some nice racing happening out there on the road. Yeah. Unfortunately, here we are with no fuel in the truck. That's easy to fix, though. That just takes some money. Nice and empty. Start the black car. Okay. Let's do that. Let me disconnect these batteries. And then we got a black car to show you. Somebody's out there on the road having fun if you listen in the background. Sure, now it went quiet. They probably ran out of gas. There we go. All right, who wants to see the black car run? Some of you might be like, what black car? That black car. It's a 1960 Ford Starliner. We're going to try and start it. Let's open up that garage door first, though, because remember what happened in the hoop shed? It got all full of exhaust. We'll put some tools there. Probably me. Bucket of tools. All right, so we got this cool car here. It's a 1960 Ford Starliner. It's got the cool name there. Yeah, let's start it. Mr. Bass 21. Let's go ahead and start this thing. Some of you might be wondering, how come these all have the hoods open? Well, for one, because we work on them, or are working on them. But for two, yeah, this thing's really cool. Check out that. For two, it kind of deters the rats and mice from living in the engine bays. If you have the hood closed and the hood closed, boom, it's a nice, dark, cozy place for the rats and the mice. And then they'll live in there. If you got it open, anytime someone comes nearby in the garage, they're all exposed. And so they don't like to hide in there as much. Of course, that just means then they hide inside the cab and inside your walls. All right, hi. Let's go ahead and start this thing. I'm going to go around, get in on that side. Everything's reversed. This is normal American side, left-hand drive. We got a battery. It's already connected, so that means there's no battery drain on this one. That one we've been working on it, so, and we need that battery for other purposes, so that's why I had to connect that one. All right, squeezing over there. Squeezing over there. No matter how big you build the garage, it's never big enough. Now I'm gonna have to fit in the door here. There we are. This one, you don't need to jump in. You need to climb down. Slide down. Starts right up. There we go. Started right up. That's got a Ford Y block engine, a Y block. So that's not an FE engine like the truck was. That's an FE engine. Those two engines out in the yard that we're going to try and put in to Starliners, one's a Y block like this one, and the other's an FE like the truck. So the FE is the bigger engine. This is the 292. I think that's either a 352 or a 360. And I don't know what the one out in the yard is. There it is. Yeah. Yeah, some of those are some pretty cool sounding engines. On this car, 1960, that's where you fill the gas, right there. At the back of the trunk, you fill the gas up from the rear. Now this one's got a spare tire holder here, and it's got an extension, a bumper extension, a Continental kit, like that, but it's not complete. There's like an opening here. Someday we'll probably complete it. Otherwise it looks really nice. This was 1 year only body style. After the 1960, the fins on the back were no longer sideways. They went up, and they were a lot stubbier. All right, let me go ahead and go in. We'll step on the gas a little bit, and then we'll shut this car down. Don't fit. There we are. All right. That's a cool car and a cool truck and a cool plow truck. Obviously, the plow truck's not in nearly as good a shape as these two. Let's just show you the inside, the interior of these quick. Gotta make sure it doesn't hit. There we go. Now, there's the steering area over there. I climbed in through passenger side. Just imagine 1960s, cruising around, black interior, white roof, big car. It's a big car. A lot of them back then were big though. Cruising with your buddies. Yeah. Ooh, it's a pretty cool car. There's the back seat. Kids sitting in the back seat. I don't know, playing some kind of 60s music. Try and think of some 60s music and play that in your head. There you go. And then fast forward to the 1970s. 1970s come along. Get in a pickup truck, F250 Highboy 4x4. Climb on in here. Got some bucket seats. I don't think it came with bucket seats. You got your AM FM stereo tape with speakers that fall off the wall. Not sure what that was all about. That thing like fell. Like magnet sticking it to the wall. Yeah, and then you got long shifter, your 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive selector, stick shift, white roof or ceiling, red interior. Yeah, some fun stuff. There it is. Sounds a lot smoother than the plow truck. But you know what? The plow truck can be fixed. These things could be fixed. I didn't fix them. My father-in-law did. He built this one out of like 14 different trucks or something. This one was mostly original. I think they repaired and restored it once. When we inherited it, it looked great. It looked like this on the outside. Really good. Really nice looking. Shiny black, lots of chrome. But I don't remember what we had to do, but there's something we had to do on the inside or the trunk where we lifted the carpet and suddenly we noticed it was bad, rusty like crazy. Like the floor was like non-existent in many spots. And then they like tarred down some panels in some places over the rust. So we gutted it on the inside. We took all the interior out completely and started cutting out the bad metal, welding in new sections, put new carpet in, put the seats back in, the whole trunk. The whole trunk was a big hole. Welded a new couple pieces in there, put it back together, put new carpet in, and here it is. So that one we did do some work on. This one, this is how we got it, except for the carburetor. It had a big Holly on it, and like that backfire you heard at the beginning, it was doing that a lot. And we're hoping with a slightly smaller carburetor, we'll be able to drive it without it backfiring as soon as we get by the neighbor's house and scaring them. We've only had each of these on the road like twice. So soon we got to get them on the road again. This thing sounds like it's almost ready. We got to work on the brakes because that pedal just straight to the floor. I'm going to try bleeding them first. Hopefully that's all it needs. Hopefully. And then I think this one's ready to take on its third road drive. There's nothing stopping this one. This one's ready, except there's stuff in the way out there. Not much. We just need to move some vehicles, move the golf cart, and have a nice, dry, sunny day. Doesn't even have to be sunny. So soon. We got to take this one on the road soon, guys, because winter's coming. And we're not taking them on the road in the winter. So we heard them both run. They're ready. They want to go. They want to go on the road. We heard that plow truck run. It's not ready. It needs a new air conditioner compressor. And then it can go on the road. One of the tires is a little sketchy, but it's not bad. I mean, it's an okay tire. It's just I wouldn't want to go on the interstate with it unless there's an emergency, because then we might be having an emergency. Tire doesn't look cracked or anything. It's just not got much tread. So there we are. Lots of fun stuff going on here. So if you guys want to see more about working on these cars and trucks, check out Tanner Rebuilds. He's been doing a lot of comments on the comment stream here. Check out his channel, Tanner Rebuilds. He does a lot of the work on these when I go to my day job. And check out my channel. Mine's basically about all the different things I need to do here. We've got a 20-acre fixer-upper hobby farm out in the country, in the marsh in central Wisconsin. And I'm doing all kinds of stuff. There's always something to do. Like 2 weeks ago or whatever, we cut out our living room window, put in a new window. So that was a 11-foot by 6-foot hole in our living room. So you never know what you're going to find on my channel. As you saw, some of our projects, we got project cars, we got project truck, I got wood in there, and didn't get to show you any of the other stuff outside because now it's dark. Winter's going to be even worse because not only will it be dark, but it'll be cold. None of these garages are insulated. That's like 2 millimeter thick metal there, so it gets cold in the winter. We come out here some. We've got a Sunliner. It's a 1960, so it's kind of like that one. It's kind of like that car. It's a convertible though. We've had the engine running a few times, never driven it. That's a project that's coming up. It's going to need some work. There's no exhaust. When we start that engine, that's another Ford FE engine like the truck, but with no exhaust. That thing's scary. It sounds like one of those old World War II jets. They're not jets. Those engines from those airplanes. It's like that thing's awesome. Convertible. We got to finish the clutch linkage and stuff before that one can drive. All kinds of projects we're working on. And then we got the little things, the four-wheelers, golf cart, UTV. Yeah, that one four-wheeler, that was horrible. Smashed the spark plug with a mallet the other day. Yeah, that's no big deal. That was an accident, but you just replace the spark plug. But worse, I broke the oil cooler while trying to replace the line because I got it loose. I got it cranked loose, and about 3 turns into loosening it, it bound up. I mean, I had a pipe on there and everything trying to, with a wrench on the top, but it was so tight that I eventually just ripped the whole corner off the oil cooler. So that four-wheeler sits for a while. So we're debating whether we should bypass the oil cooler or buy a used oil cooler. I mean, it's an old four-wheeler, like 80s or 90s, so it's not It's not like a brand new one where you want to pay top dollar for the correct part. You're walking through a graveyard the other day when a bloke popped out from behind a headstone. Morning, I said. Ah, no, he's taking a poop. He said, hey, yeah, that makes sense. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, and if there's just somewhere to hide like that, a gravestone, it's better than in the road. Yeah, Brian, thanks for watching. All right. So there's all kinds of stuff that's going on. Oh, another thing I gotta do soon is I gotta rip out the garden before winter. We've got like, I don't know, 5 gardens or something crazy. They did horrible this year. Weeds like crazy. We took a trip to Florida in the spring, and when we came back, the weeds all over the garden. We never reconvened after that. It was just weed galore. But we had like 1 million tomatoes, 1 million peppers, hot peppers. How many of you like hot peppers? Habaneros, jalapenos, all the good stuff. But I had so many. I'm gonna dry them and crush them up and put them in like a shaker because I can't eat them all fresh. Can't eat that many. I'm the only one that eats them. Sometimes my kids try. So I think one of these days they're gonna start liking hot sauce. That's how it starts. You just start by trying. You're like, hey, can I handle this? Oh, that's so hot. 3 weeks later, oh hey, there's a pepper. Can I handle it? Whoa, why did I do that? But that's how it starts. 3 years later, dumping the hot sauce on, eating the peppers. Yum yum. All right. There's a lot to do. I'll find something else to do. Yesterday I was painting the house. Yeah. I wish it was warm year round. There's no end to stuff to do. But we gotta fix stuff inside the house too. So once it gets cold, who knows what project we're gonna come up with. We gotta gut our kitchen one of these times. That's possibly our next big project. Ripping that ceiling down, you never know what you'll find. Who wants to hear what we found when we ripped down our living room ceiling? Because it was just this old, yucky ceiling, like cardboard junk. Ripping it down, huge mess, huge mess. I wish we videoed it. We had plastic all over the living room. We spent one day. We're going to rip down the ceiling, and we're going to clean it, throw out the garbage in one day, so that at the end of the day we can be back in the living room. We're not going to put up the new ceiling in one day, but we're going to rip down the garbage in one day. Almost to the end of it, we were like within feet of the end of our living room ceiling. Pull down one of these panels, and boom, here comes a mummified rat. It was mummified in our ceiling, and it was big. I mean, it was like the size of a football, like a deflated football. That's kind of what it looked like. That was pretty disgusting. But you never know what you'll find. Maybe you'll find treasure instead of mummified rats. But because of how mummified it was, I bet it was there long before we moved in. Otherwise, we would have smelled that. Yeah, that was crazy. Maybe it was a squirrel. It was big. So now you guys are probably thinking, I want to rip down my ceiling because I might find something cool too. I tell you, if you do, make sure you video it because we missed our opportunity and we didn't video that. That would have been a great video. Okay, it's late on a Thursday. I don't know, probably like 7:30 because it's dark, maybe even later. Thank you guys for watching. We successfully started all 3 things we tried to start tonight. The plow truck, the 7.3 diesel, 2001, needs some work, but it starts. We're going to use it for snow plowing this winter, so we want to fix it up. So much so that I put hobbyist plates on it. It's not really a hobbyist truck, but I didn't want collector plates because it's a little bit unique. It's got a flatbed, which might not qualify as hobbyist, or I mean collector. Might not qualify as collector because it has to be an option that the factory sold. And I'm not sure if the factory sold that version with a flatbed because that looked like a homemade flatbed. So to be safe, I put hobbyist. But what that means is I intend to keep that truck. I intend to keep it running, and hopefully someday fix it up. Will it ever be as nice as these? Probably not. I don't have the time. I don't have the skill yet. But you never know. You never know. Maybe some year, 2001 is going to seem like 1972 to somebody. And if we keep it from dying and falling into the scrapyard, someday it might be able to be restored like this thing. Don't know. It's better than saying, yeah, I'm done with this truck, especially at the price of new trucks these days. Yeah, buying a new truck, that's like dumb. The price is dumb, man. That's the price of a house. All right. There's a cat in here. We don't want cats in here. So I'm gonna make sure the cat goes out. I'm gonna shut things down here. You guys have a great Thursday, and I'll look forward to seeing some of you again. All right, let's see here. The Golden Knight, you would be so down to help with the kitchen project. Well, thanks for the offer. Unfortunately, we need to plan it first and come up with funds. Right now, it's pinching towards the end of the year because that's the way the budget always goes, and it's actually not that close to the end of the year yet. So we need to make sure, look at our monthly bills as they go up and down, up and down, and up and down, and make sure we're going to make it till the influx of money in February. And then we'll decide if we have enough money to buy the kitchen supplies. We're going to need ceiling. We're going to need new tiles because our tile floor is bad. Countertops. Something to do with the cabinets. I'm not sure what we're going to do because cabinets are so expensive. I'm not going out and buying no $10,000 worth of cabinets. That's how we do things. We don't go buy $10,000 stuff from the store. We make it work. Either we do it ourselves, we build it ourselves, we find it used at like a resale place, like our living room window. We got a great deal on that from Revolves in Wapaka, Wisconsin. It's like um, they like not reclaim, but they try to repurpose stuff that they pull out of businesses, old manufacturing places or houses, stuff that's still good. So we find stuff like that and do it on the cheap, but we also do it unique and try and do it as cool and as nice as possible. My own style. Okay. So if you guys want to see some of my own style happening, keep tuned. All right. You guys have a great night. Thanks for watching.